I respect David Magerman very much. I feel that he has his heart in the right place, he means to do well, and he is committed to Torah education.
I have known him to be the most generous philanthropist that we have in Philadelphia.
He's taken the idea of giving back to a whole new level.
David is just about the best of anybody I ever met at quickly analyzing a complex system and focusing in on here's where the issue is, here's where the problem lies, here's where we have to look to find the solution.
My Jewish upbringing was kind of a standard American conservative Jewish upbringing. I was bar mitzvahed, I went to shul occasionally, but when I hit college, I lost connection to Judaism.
In college, David Magerman graduated Phi Beta Kappa from the University of Pennsylvania and went on to Stanford University, where he earned a doctorate in computer science.
He's extremely bright. He's trained as a computer expert. He's mathematical, very rational.
Sometimes it's just almost breathtaking, the speed with which he can assess a very complicated situation and find the essence of it.
His intellectual gifts led to incredible financial success as a partner in Renaissance Technologies, a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund management company. While successful on one level, David felt disconnected from his Jewish roots.
I hate to embarrass to admit it, I worked on Yom Kippur. I'd fast sometimes, but I'd work.
The first great change in David's life was marrying Debra Ellen Campbell of East Northport, New York.
It wasn't until I got married and my wife wanted to keep a kosher home that I kind of got reintroduced to Jewish observance. Debra grew up in a traditional home. Her parents kept kosher, and I found out when we got married that that was Debra's intent as well.
That was part of my family tradition, and it's something that we want to maintain and keep throughout the years.
And this is what I had to keep up with.
The next life-changing moment came on a trip to Israel for a cousin's bar mitzvah in Jerusalem.
There were a lot of people who were very well versed in Torah and Talmud, and they were talking about really interesting things, and I just didn't have anything to contribute. I felt kind of like a kindergartner in a room of college students. A friend of my cousin's at the bar mitzvah asked me what was wrong, and I told him that I was very sad that I couldn't participate, that I really wanted to learn more about Judaism. And he had participated in Partners in Torah Telepartners before he had become religious, and he suggested that when I get back to the States that I make a phone call, sign up, and start learning. And that's what I did.
It was a simple phone call from Partners in Torah that started him learning. And next thing you know, he's heavily committed to helping Partners in Torah, and from there suddenly blossomed and bloomed.
I started learning with Partners in Torah about 7 years ago, and it's an amazing program. I just started learning what Judaism was about from the ground up.
And that was all kind of a precursor to what made us think about, where our lives are going as a couple and as a family.
The Magermans relocated to Philadelphia and threw their efforts into supporting Jewish education.
The Magermans are maverick philanthropists. They're giving money to day schools all over the country, and they're taking the philanthropic world by storm.
David and Debra have together made the most giant footprint in Jewish educational philanthropy than anyone has ever done.
I think that some of the children who are now on the path to go through day school education wouldn't have gotten there without David's efforts. I think that he was supposed to find his heart in Judaism and really, put his effort there.
It is a marvel to consider how many lives will be touched because David Magerman was reconnected to Yiddishkeit through Partners in Torah.
There's no question that we have to thank this simple phone chain, this simple phone connection that did indeed lead him to become the person that he is here in Philadelphia.
The impact that Partners in Torah has had on him is changing the world.
He is committed, he is driven, and he is successful.
He's such a smart and intelligent person, and he really puts all of his energy into what he's doing. and he feels that this is something that, and his heart is in it as well. It's just so nice to say that he's my husband,